And then he said that he was baffled why they still continue to deny and lie that this was ever the policy when it's written in government documents, which he then brought along to this thing. And he had messages, and he said he was briefing Koonsberg. He was like, it absolutely was the policy. And so anyone that's watching this briefing, this committee appearance, is thinking, why the fuck wouldn't you just say, we got it wrong? Look, we're in panic mode here. We're in war rooms. We're in Cobra meetings. We're just trying to do the best thing. And we made a mistake.
Well, most of us are in Cobra meetings.
Right. But yeah. Fair point. But like, why not just say you got it wrong and now you're switching tack because you realize that this is actually the better route to take? Oh, and again, like, why not just acknowledge that now, like a year later, and say, look, we were a little bit funny about it around then, but yes, okay, it was and the answer to both of those questions really is they shit their tits about newspaper coverage. Like, Johnson is obsessed with headlines and newspapers.
With his image.
Yes, exactly. He's an ex-tabloid journalist himself. He would claim a broadsheet journalist. I dispute that.
He might have been in a broadsheet, but he was a tabloid journalist.
Right, yeah. And so, yeah, you get into this situation where you're like, well, why is he so, like, why would you deny and lie about, like, this? Right, here's the thing. This is a lesson that most people learn when they're about 22, 23. When you get your first job after uni or whatever, and, you know, I'll count myself in this group of people, right? You go into an office job or whatever, and you make a mistake, and somebody says, does anybody know what happened with this order? And then you go, no, I don't know anything about that, like that. And then you might,
oh really, because it was you that did it.
Yeah, you might get away with it like once or twice, but eventually it's going to come back and kick you in the arse, right? And that is a lesson that normal people learn in their 20s, in their first couple of jobs. So my question is, like, why hasn't a 56-year-old prime minister learned that lesson yet? And the answer to that is because he's never had to take any responsibility for a fucking thing in his entire life. Like,
well, no, because you get sacked from one job and then just goes, this one then.
Yeah. Somebody described it today in the comments as failing upward, which is a perfect description. You know, he gets fired, then miraculously he's hired somewhere else for more money. I thought earlier, like, what's a good metaphor? What's a good sort of simile type thing to describe Boris Johnson facing his responsibilities? And the best thing I could come up with was he's like a deer running onto the M25. Like, responsibility. Responsibilities coming at him. He's just like dodging.
The M25 is probably the most apt one because the responsibilities are just standing there and he just walks past them.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the frustration with a lot of this is, you know, here is this prime minister in number 10 in his office, obsessed with newspaper coverage, obsessed with headlines. How are they going to treat me? What if they find out if I'm shit? What if they find out that we're actually just a group of fuck-ups and we don't know what the fuck we're doing? And yet, have you ever known another culture of client journalism quite as, like, kid gloves as this? Yeah.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
It's like, but what is he so afraid of when they treat him so, like, he could have literally left number 10 and said, change my mind on herd immunity and also go fuck yourself, and they probably would have sucked his dick. Like, he would have been fine.
Yeah. Boris Johnson makes brave decision in changing his mind. Didn't he say go fuck yourself as well? Oh, I didn't hear that. No.
Yeah, right.
But was it just me, or with the herd immunity thing? For us, just living our lives, it was like normal. Okay, pubs are shut.
Yeah.
So everyone just went out onto a field for the weekend.
Yeah.
And then Monday, okay, lockdown.
I don't remember because I've got a young family. So for me, lockdown is almost irrelevant. I never leave the fucking house anyway. Like, there was a pandemic? Really?